Hello and welcome back to the Squirrelhead YouTube channel, and welcome to the first video after we hit 50 subscribers. Thank you ever so much for your subscription if you have, and if you're not subscribed, why don't you go and hit that subscribe button and you'll get so much more content, I guarantee it. I've basically actually been averaging a video a day this week, so that's kind of unrealistic, but we'll get onto that another time. We are on about Liverpool versus Plymouth Argyle in what will be a much changed lineup due to the fact that we've got a fair few injuries at the moment, and we've also lost Mane to the African Cup of Nations. So those that are on the injury list include Joel Matip, Jordan Henderson, James Milner, Philippe Coutinho, Daniel Sturridge. Those are the most notable ones at the moment, and they're all pretty much first team players in one way, in one shape or another. So obviously you're looking at this total game and there probably will be a great deal of squad rotation. The fact that I think Karius is going to be coming into this one will be a good one for him to come into, hopefully. Hopefully that little bit of the last month or so on the sidelines is going to do quite well for him. We've done quite well in terms of, apart from the draw that we got against Sunderland, we had some good victories and stuff like that before that. So hopefully it's going to be quite good in that respect. Then we've also got Joe Gomez coming back from injury, and Jurgen Klopp has said don't be surprised to see him in the starting lineup, and that's really, really cool. This lad has had such an up and down time where it looks like he's coming back from injury and then it doesn't happen. And he was out so long anyway. It was unreal. When he started to make his comeback, he injured again. It's really, really going to be ace to see him come back into the team, and whether he comes back in a centre-back role or not. I believe he'll come into a centre-back role. Who will partner him? I'm not entirely sure. I would maybe go with having Joe Gomez and having a more experienced player there. So whether that means you have someone like maybe Klavan playing next to him, or you have Lovren playing next to him, I would probably go with Klavan with the experience. And also the effect that Klavan's had when he's played with Lovren. It's a knock-on effect, and it's got a lot of confidence out of Lovren, and Lovren's been putting in some excellent performances, as well as Klavan himself. The other option there that they've got as well, and is rumoured to be that Lucas will start as well. Now, whether he starts in the midfield or the defence, I'm not sure. If I had the choice about it, I'd start him in the midfield. Why? He just doesn't do it for me in the defence, and I think in games like this, you're going to need someone who is an actual defender to marshal that defensive line, communicate with the goalkeeper properly, and actually have the size and stature of a defender. Having him in the midfield, while he's not the best defensive mid anymore, or it ever really was, he's still probably going to be much more useful in a game like this in the midfield. You know he's going to pick up a yellow card. That's kind of a guarantee with Lucas, but I think he'll be a lot better in the midfield, and that's where I would keep him. And then alongside the defence, I think we'll obviously see Trent Alexander-Arnold, who would be awesome. The last time he played for Liverpool, he put in an excellent performance, and I don't see any reason why not to include him. The other guys that you'll probably see could be the likes of Ovi Ojaria and stuff like that as well. Who else have we got that I got wrote down? Woodburn. Woodburn would obviously be another good one to get out there. Young lad, youngest goal scorer in Liverpool Football Club history. Why not give him a shot out there? You may also then see Divock Origi starting, and that might be quite good. Obviously, he didn't start the game that Sturridge started, where he was obviously had to come off injured against Sunderland, but even so, I would still go with maybe someone like Woodburn, because he's gonna be hungry, and he's gonna be chomping at the bit to get an opportunity, and this could be a really good opportunity to give him some experience and a good load of minutes. That might be good. Could get a couple of goals. Could even, as long as he contributes, or as long as he's getting the minutes out there, that's going to be the main thing in this one, I think. Back into the midfield as well, probably Kevin Stewart would probably be another one that maybe starts as well. I'm not entirely sure, but why not? Especially after that banger of a goal in training that he scored. Look, it's going to be, unreal if anybody can ever rip out a goal like that on the pitch in full play. But even so, whenever he's played in the team before, he's done pretty damn well as well. He's made a good account of himself, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be starting as well. And this is opportunities for the whole team as well to come out of here and maybe get an eye into the first team, because obviously we are going to be missing quite a few people. We're still going to be, we don't know when Coutinho is going to be coming back. There's rumour that he could be coming back maybe in a week or two. Henderson, similar situation. Sturridge, I think Sturridge and Coutinho have been back in training, so there's a good chance they could even be back within the next week. Henderson, not entirely sure on that one. It's something to do with his heel. Not sure if it's the same heel that it was that he injured last time when he was out for friggin' ages, but Klopp seems to be quite positive about it and that it's not going to be a long injury, so fingers crossed that is true. And Joel Matip, not entirely sure, I just know that he's injured. So there's going to be good opportunities here moving forward because we've got a lot of fixtures in this month and we're going to need a lot of players to step up and be able to do actual squad rotation. I still think that's a mistake that we missed out on in the Sunderland game. I think that would have been a good opportunity to get some squad rotation going, and it didn't happen. Maybe we cost ourselves a win by not rotating. I'm not the manager, and he will have not rotated as many players for some particular reason. It's just one of those. We had a lot of fixtures coming thick and fast. We've got to adjust and we've got to move on. And this is going to be an important game because it's going to be, if we can get to some finals again, and we've only got the opportunity to get into 2 finals, FA Cup and the Capital One Cup, or whatever both of those cups are called these days, I don't know. But those are the things that we need to do. I think we've got a good chance of getting into the finals for each one of these and also still maintain our Premier League run. We're still second in the table at the moment, 5 points behind Chelsea. Things are looking quite bright, considering where we were last year as well. Now, I think there was something, I think we're on 44 points right now. We would need a further 16 points to overtake where we were last year, where we finished the entire season last year. We finished on 60 points after 38 games. I think people saying that Liverpool aren't progressing, I don't know where you're getting your information from, but we are progressing. But I'm also digressing away from the original point of this video, which is Liverpool versus Plymouth Argyle. It's going to be one of those that I think Liverpool have got to look to dominate. They've got to look to play how we always try and play. They've got to look to keep hold of the ball and be electric moving forward. I'm going to be looking to players like Ojaria to be that creative spark in the midfield. Whoever's going to be playing up front, whether it's going to be Woodburn, if it's going to be Origi, a combination, I don't know what the formation could be. It might even change because I'm not sure of the pacey players that we might have in the team. We may completely change something. I'm not entirely sure. Are we going to see the likes of maybe Lallana and Firmino featuring in this game? I'd like to see a good combination between experience of the first team and and some of the youth players that are looking for that opportunity to really start to break into that first team squad, the bench and all that sort of business. I think a good combination between that is going to be very, very vital because you're going to have the experienced players to pull up the younger players and the younger players to maybe spark on something of the experienced players like that. I'm not saying that the experienced players are going to be complacent or anything like that, but I think the two could spark off each other and really, really create something very, very good in this game. Now, for obvious reasons, because it's Liverpool, and I know people will say, oh, dude, it's Plymouth Argyle. Look, you can't slag off anyone. I've literally just watched Arsenal struggle. Who are they struggling against? I can't even remember now. Preston. I've literally just watched Arsenal struggle against Preston, and they put out a strong-ass team. And it took a Giroud header in the 89th minute to get a 2-1 victory. Look, you cannot... These competitions where you're playing against the lower division teams, they just get up for these games, and Liverpool have been victim to this, like in the past quite a few times, where we can be, the one that's slain, shall we say. Maybe not so much in the last couple of years, but we can end up being that team. As long as we put in a decent performance and actually take it seriously, which for me, since Klopp's come in, he seems to take all the cup competitions seriously, no matter what they are. Take every single competition seriously, despite the fact that he's obviously, in my opinion, will be using this opportunity to get some younger players involved, which is just right because we've got so many games coming up as well in this month. He's going to have to start using some of those players, and I think that's what he's going to do. We need to make sure that we're professional about it, but try and play in the Liverpool way that we are at the moment, or the Klopp way as we are at the moment. Try and stay very good at the back. I can't wait to see Joe Gomez in there. I think Alberto Moreno is going to be the left back as well. That'd be quite nice to see as well. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for a prediction, and I think it's not going to be necessarily the most positive one, and I'm trying to take into consideration our form of late, and also the competition that we're playing against, and also the team that we might put out. And I think we're going to be looking at possibly a 2 or 3-1 victory. But don't be surprised if this turns out to be a pretty gritty affair because of the team that we're coming up against. And it may end up being like a 1-0. At worst, could be at worst, obviously it would be a loss. But at worst, I think it could, if it ends up being a draw, that'd be pretty bad. And we don't want that. Let's go for the victory. I think we can get a 2 to 3-1 victory. Just don't be surprised if it's a bit tighter than that and it maybe ends up like a 1-0 or something like that. But let me know what you've thought of this video in the comments below. Both sets of fans, Liverpool fans, how do you feel about it? Plymouth Argyle fans, what are you expecting to get from the game? How are you guys going to approach this game as well? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. That'd be so awesome of you. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.